I'm a powerlifting champion and he beat me in a squat competition. And you're questioning whether or not he's natural. Coach Greg, and today, a natty or not on none other than Will Tennyson. So many people have requested me to do this natty or not video, and so finally I've gotten around to it. I think most people thought Will Tennyson was natural because he wasn't really that big and he looked to have an attainable physique. But then he got sponsored by Gymshark. Then the people really started saying, hey, is he natural? Is he not natural? I really want to know. Then some... Gertie, is Will natty? Gertie, you're not natty. I also had several people point out the fact that they thought Will had gyno. They thought they got him, okay? So Will had posted a few pictures where he had slightly puffy nipples. But listen, this is a normal occurrence in many men. It's normal. Having slightly puffy nips does not mean that someone is on PEDs. It doesn't mean they're getting actual gyno. Gynecomastia is a hard lump that forms underneath the nipple. It usually appears to be small, but when they actually remove it, it could be the size of a golf ball. Having slightly puffy nipples is just a normal occurrence. You eat too much food, retain water, you stand in a certain lighting in a certain way, and you can appear to have puffy nipples. Does not mean the person is taking PD, steroids, SARMs, whatever. So I asked Will, can you send me some of the photos of you when you were younger so I can see the progression, so I can see, were there any major jumps? Did something fishy seem to happen? So he sent me some photos and I'm gonna go over these in detail. The first photo of which he's 255 pounds in grade 10. 16 years of age, 255 pounds. He is obese, clearly obese.
Chubby, husky, whatever you want to call it. It's safe to say by looking at the photo, I didn't miss too many meals.
Does that mean he has bad genetics? No. You can be obese. It doesn't mean you have bad genetics. You could be just eating too much, eating the wrong kinds of foods, not working out, not training, not doing anything. Will was not very active at this time. He wasn't lifting weights and he wasn't eating a proper diet. There are three general different types of body types. Will is more predominantly an endomorph in this situation, okay? What that means is he easily can gain a lot of body fat, but also a lot of muscle. So Will's genetics are more likely attributed to someone who can easily put on fat and muscle. So if he wanted to, he could probably become a power lifter or a strongman competitor, somebody who's really big, who has a lot of muscle, but also a lot of fat. He finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired. He didn't like his reflection in the mirror, and he decided to do something about it. What did he do? Well, he was only a kid. He was only 16 years old, but he knew that if he ate a lot less, he would lose a lot of weight, and he knew that cardio burnt calories. So what did he do? He did both of them. A lot of cardio and a lot of starving, as in a starvation diet, hardly ate anything while doing a lot of cardio. And what was the net result? In 5 months, he lost 100 pounds. He went from 255 pounds to only 155 in 5 months. That's 20 pounds a month. That's a dramatic weight loss, an incredible weight loss. But it's not a good one. That is not, in fact, what you want. See, the thing is, people in society want the quick fix. They think, wow, 100 pounds in 5 months. Congratulations, that's amazing. But they don't know how he felt. They don't know what he was going through. This is disordered eating behavior. It is not healthy. It wasn't good for him. He wasn't in a good place when he was doing this.
I was terrified of food. I looked at food as good or bad, and I was addicted to watching the scale drop.
So yes, he lost the weight, but at what cost? He was starving. He didn't feel good about himself. He didn't have energy, and it wasn't the kind of diet that was maintainable or sustainable for life. This is him before lifting weights. Grade 12, before lifting weights. He had lost 100 pounds in 5 months, and this is his start point, saying, I want to get some more muscle. I should start working out. Do you see this physique? This physique looks like someone who's been weightlifting since he was 10 years old like me. That is a lot of friggin' muscle. How many of you would like to have his starting physique? before ever touching a weight, how many of you would be happy to look like that? Probably most people. If you're doubting how good his genetics actually are, look no further than his starting photo. His starting photo is more impressive than when I started. Will's genetics are that good. Oh, I'm not convinced. I don't think he has good genetics. He beat me in a squatting competition. I'm a powerlifting champion and he beat me in a squat competition. You think people with shitty genetics can just show up and outlift Coach Greg? No, he's very gifted. He's an athlete. He just had a hard time with keeping his body fat down because he has more fat cells than a normal person. The average person with Will's genetics would be obese. More fat cells, more ghrelin, punching you in the face saying, eat more. But Will, he found a way to get over this by eating low-calorie dense foods. Why do you think we make so much sense? He's clearly found a diet that works for him. He eats low-calorie dense foods to keep him full. If he didn't do that, he would keep eating and eating and eating into obesity. He would once again go up to 200 plus pounds.
So losing body fat is more a mental game than anything. The minute that you know that you're on a calorie deficit, you're gonna start to feel hungry all day long. It's just how it works. It sucks.
He's eating protein ice cream before bed. He's eating foods that don't have a lot of calories so that he's full. He has a ferocious appetite. You doubt me? I can out-eat almost anyone, and Will beat me in a 10,000 calorie eating challenge. He beat me. I rarely have ever seen anyone that can eat more than me, and Will can eat more than me. What more do you need to know? The guy can eat a ton, yet he's still lean. In fact, he recently just did a DEXA scan of which he came out at 11.3% body fat. An interesting part of the DEXA scan is it measures the difference in the fat in the stomach area versus, for example, in the hip area. And in the stomach area, he only came in at 6.8%. So this is fat attributed to more around the waist and the back and so on. His android fat distribution was 6.8%. This is the fat around the waist. In the gynoid, however, this is mostly like the hips, 14.5%. When you see Will with his shirt off, you see how lean he is. His abs are visible. He has low body fat, especially in the back, but you don't see the legs, of which it's 14.5%. So when you're judging his physique, you're most likely thinking, oh, there's no way he could be that lean year round. He must be taking something, but he isn't actually ridiculously lean. Will is quite lean. He's leaner than about 90% of the people his age, but most of the fat that he does carry is in the lower half that you can't see, the hips, thighs, and so on. So although he looks really lean in the upper body, he's not quite as lean overall as you might expect. Will is currently 26 years of age and just under 6 feet tall and usually about 180 pounds, maybe slightly more depending on the eating challenge he's chosen. So let's watch Will's transformation throughout the years. He started off obese, 255 pounds, dropped 100 pounds down to 155. So approximately 5 years ago in 2016, Will weighed in at 160 pounds after lifting weights for 1.5 years, experiencing the newbie gains. You could see he had quite a bit of muscle development, was quite lean, and looked fantastic. Remember, he's only 20 years old. It's not like he'd been lifting his whole life. So in July of 2016, he was weighing 160 pounds, looking pretty good. He said, I want to put on more muscle, so he decided to bulk up. So he started eating more than he was before in order to try to pack on some more muscle. 4 months later in November, you can see he's put on 10 pounds. But because he was natural at this time, he put on 10 pounds, but the majority of it is fat. As you can clearly see, he looks bigger, but you can tell it's not all muscle. Fast forward a year, 2017, he's now still 170 pounds, only now he's a little bit leaner because what he did is he maintained throughout that year. What does maintain? It means that he added muscle while at the same time he lowered his body fat percentage. He didn't bulk up to put on muscle. He didn't cut to put on muscle. He just maintained his weight the entire time, and naturally body recomposition took place. Over the course of a year, he gradually lost a few pounds of fat and replaced it with a few pounds of muscle. So although he weighs the same, he clearly looks better in 2017 than 2016. Nothing dramatic, what you would expect from somebody with elite level genetics. That's right, he has amazing genetics. Are you doubting me? Did you not see the way he looked before he even started lifting weights? He's an endomorph, which means he has an easy time gaining both fat and muscle. But by eating at balance and knowing how to eat properly, he was able to keep his fat in check while building muscle slowly month after month. 1 month later, you can see he's bulked up to a massive 172 pounds, a whole 2-pound gain. You see what I'm talking about? It's slow and steady gains. Nothing dramatic is happening. If somebody were to take PDs, you would see a dramatic large jump in muscle mass or body weight without a lot of fat. I do not see this at any time here. Fast forward 3 more months and he's managed to put on an additional 2 whole pounds in 3 months. It's not like Jack gaining 12 pounds in a month. This is 2 pounds in 3 months for a guy with good genetics. And arguably, maybe it was even all water. We don't even know if a single pound of that was in fact muscle. Fast forward 2020, 2 whole years later. How big is he now? A whooping 171 pounds. Wait a minute. He was 174 pounds 2 years before this. And now he's 2 years later, he's 3 pounds smaller, but he's leaner and he looks better. So it must be not natural, right? No. Do you understand just how significant a change you can make by dropping body fat? The leaner you are, the bigger you look. He's actually smaller 2 years later, but appears much bigger because he's leaner. 171 pounds, but the leanest he's ever been. He said, this was my leanest photo. Here I am, 171 pounds ripped. Fast forward another year, it's 2021, and what's happened? He's now 179 to 181 pounds on most days. I went and visited him and he was around 180 pounds, okay? He's not as lean as he was at that time. However, he is 10 pounds bigger. But remember, fat and water makes you gain weight, not just muscle. You can clearly see the visual difference in that he had a lot lower body fat level a year ago, more arm vascularity. He was more shredded, abs more visible. He looked like he was near contest condition. And now, even though he's 11.3%, which is still quite lean, it's not quite competition ready now, is it? It's normal to fluctuate 10 pounds from when you're at a lean cutting phase to an off-season main gaining phase. Both of these weights are healthy. However, there's no reason for him to maintain 171 pounds. After all, he is an endomorph, a lot of fat cells, and his hunger would probably be through the roof at that point. It's a lot healthier for him, a lot more manageable. He doesn't have the extreme levels of hunger when keeping his weight into the low 180s. So he compared his DEXA scan results now to 3 years ago. And what do you think the results were? How much muscle do you think he gained? Probably in 3 years, probably 10 pounds or so. He's natural, right? With good genetics, he probably gained 10 pounds. If it's 20 pounds, we know he's not natural. So this is going to be the definitive answer, proving if he's natty or not. Let's see how much he gained in 3 years.
You're 185 pounds is
Okay,
fat.
so yeah, that's funny because like almost exactly 20 pounds of fat from my last weigh-in.
Exactly.
So yeah, my body fat went down to 11.3 from 12.5, and then I gained like just under 5 pounds of muscle from 3.5 years ago. So
are you going to try to convince me that Will is not natural and that in 3 years, with the help of PDs, he gained 4.3 pounds? In 3 years, enhanced? If PDs only helped you gain 4.3 pounds in 3 years, how many people would be using them? 0 people, because 4.3 pounds of muscle in 3 years is very realistic for anyone with elite level genetics. In fact, even people with shit for genetics can expect to gain 4.3 pounds of muscle in 3 years. If anything, I'd be saying, Will, time to train smarter than last time. Why is it that you only gained 4.3 pounds in 3 years? He's already answered this in previous videos. He says, I'm not eating properly. I'm doing food challenges. I'll eat a lot in one day, then I'll have to diet after that, and I'll have to diet before the eating challenge. And he's doing various fitness challenges and cardio challenges. It's not the perfect conditions to put on muscle. So let's summarize the information so you can draw your own conclusions as to whether he's natty or not. So Will, who has elite level genetics, has managed to put on about 25 pounds of muscle over the course of an entire lifting career, 4.3 of which happened in the last 3 years. He coincidentally was sponsored by Gymshark and had a little bit of a puffy nip for a little bit. He's over 6 feet tall and just over 180 pounds. And you're questioning whether or not he's natural. What do I think? I think Will's 100% natural. Am I 100% sure about anything in life? No. I'm not sure if I'm wearing a red shirt and I look outside and I see it snowing, but I'm not 100%. Maybe it's rain. I don't know. But for the most part, I'm pretty freaking sure Will's natural. If you doubt me and you watch this video, did you really watch this video? Really, watch it again. If you're at this point in the video and you think Will's still not natty, rewatch the video and see if I change your mind. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Blooping up 2 videos. Hope you learned something. And until next time, I am out.